One of the ideas which you should explore if you want to make money in the market is stocks which have high persistency. That means stocks which continuously keep going up day after day. So, one of the ways in which you can find this kind of stocks is just by looking at how many times they had a positive day in the last 252 days, or how many times in the last 6 months they had a positive day. Or you can look at like in stocks which had positive day in the last 2 years or last 60 days. Now, this persistency, or if you score stocks based on persistency, and if you can isolate stocks which have higher persistency, then those stocks can be traded on pullbacks. Those stocks are the one which have something going on, because why will a stock have a high persistency? And this is something which you can do very easily in TC2000. And in order to do this in TC2000, let's go to my TC2000 and I'll show you how to do it very easily. Now, in order to do this in TC2000, let's look at, like, and I say, one of the ways in which you can create columns in TC2000 is you can create a column which looks for basically a stock which has the today's price was greater than yesterday's price how many times in the last 504 days. So that's around 2 years. 504 days is 2 years. Now, if you see and rank by that particular thing, you will see that this stock had high persistency, right? And this stock has very high persistency. It has been going up continuously, right? In the last two years, it had like basically 284 positive days. Now, that's the kind of stock which, when it pulls back, tends to bounce back, right? And basically, so you can develop this kind of a persistency. Like Vertex is a stock which has a very high persistency in the last 1 year, right? Or last 2 years. Similarly, you can create it for like 1 year by just changing to 252 and isolate stocks which have higher persistency in just last 1 year. So if you see Transdigam, now this is a stock which has a very high persistency this year. If you look at, like, and I say this year, it has been going up, right? And it's a positive, like, and if you see, it's been going up like since the start of the week. Even if you look at it on a weekly, you'll see like only 2 3 weeks, 2 weeks, like say these were like two negative weeks, but they are hardly negative weeks, or these were negative weeks, hardly any negative. Now, this is a very highly persistent stock. So, highly persistent stock is where you want to buy a pullback. Every time it pulls back, it offers you an opportunity. Or this is a stock which, again, you will see that this is a stock which is very persistent because it has like and been going up, right? And basically, or Vertex, or like an Arc Capital Group, or O'Reilly. If you see, O'Reilly has a very high persistency on a longer term time frame also. If you see, for since its IPO, the stock has made like a 31% move, and it's very persistent. So isolating persistent stock and focusing on till they remain persistent. Something has gone wrong here. Obviously, the persistency was very high, but it changed. Till that time, it was very high persistency. If you isolate stocks with high persistency and then look for an opportunity to pull back when they pull back, because the hypothesis on high persistency stock is whenever they pull back, they will have, because they are high persistency, they will again bounce back. So you can do it on a 6 monthly time frame. You can do it on a shorter time frame. When you do it in a shorter time frame, you will discover stocks like this stock is a new stock which has recently started having a high persistency. Now, if the stock goes sideways and sets up, I would definitely be interested in this particular stock, right? And basically, and you can, like, and I say here, you have a stock which has a very high persistency, and now it is going sideways. Now, this stock, any breakout on this is a buy. Similarly, you can do it for a very shorter time period of 20 days. And if you see that, that is just a 20 days. So it just is calculating how many times in 20 days this stock is up. So if you see Celsius Holding has a very high persistency, and that's a stock which I already have a position in, but that's the kind of a stock which, if it offers another opportunity to enter, I would like to enter more. Or Novacure, or Vertex Pharma, or this Scholastic, or Castella West. So there are many ways in which you can find strong stocks in the market. Any stock which has very high persistency is a very strong stock. It has some reason, or there is very aggressive buying going on into that stock, and people are not willing to sell it. Now, that is the kind of a stock which is good when you're looking at any pullback or consolidation against a normal stock which has a not very high persistency score. So if you want to improve your win rate, or if you want to improve your uh, profits on stocks by buying pullbacks or buying consolidation, then focus on stocks which have very high persistency. Higher the persistency, more likely the stock is going to continue. Similarly, all these high persistency stock at some stage, uh, their persistency gets over. That tells you that the move in the stock is over and they can become good shots after that. So persistency is a very good way of identifying stocks for swing trading, or even if you're a long term holder.